Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us for our last webinar in 2024. We are rounding out the end of the year. Our theme for this year is preparedness through partnerships, and we have a great guest with us today from the Red Cross who is going to tell us all about opportunities, not only here locally in the National Capital Region, but we've gotten a lot of great questions after the hurricanes that have happened of how people can get out there and be deployed to help. So Sheleasa is joining me, and she's going to give us a great overview of some of the local opportunities and then how you may be able to help around the country. So without further ado, I will turn it over to you to give us all of the great information.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So hello everyone, and welcome to a brief presentation on the American Red Cross. Now, today we will explore our mission, our services, the significance of volunteering, and spotlight some of the opportunities available across the region. And my name is Sheleasa Omogbai. I serve as a volunteer recruitment specialist. My role involves recruiting volunteers, fostering relationships within the community, and educating the public about who we are and how we serve locally and nationally. On the right-hand side of the presentation, you will see the list of the counties that we serve throughout the region. And at the end of the presentation, I'll share a slide with all my contact information for further questions and connections. So here's a short video that shows us delivering our compassion and hope in 2024.
The American Red Cross mission is as critical as ever to address today's urgent humanitarian needs. Our world is changing rapidly. Disasters have become more intense and more frequent. The nation's blood supply is vulnerable to the lowest donor base in 2 decades, and emergencies seem to arise around every corner. As Red Crossers, we witness firsthand the profound impact on the communities we serve. We adapt, we evolve, and together we meet these challenges head-on with kindness, care, and an unwavering commitment to mission delivery.
Because of the generous donations, my sons have their mom, my husband has his wife, and we are eternally grateful that we can actually do things as a family.
You know of the Red Cross, you donate to the Red Cross. You don't actually ever expect to need the Red Cross.
Fiscal year 2024 was a year scarred by tragedy and fortified in triumph. We responded to tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, and wildfires. We provided aid alongside the global Red Cross Red Crescent movement as conflict and crisis intensified. We supported military members, their families, and veterans as they navigated difficulties unique to our armed services community. We taught more life-saving classes to be ready for moments that matter, and we rolled up a sleeve and overcame blood shortages to meet patient needs.
Gracias a la Cruz Roja yo tuve todo lo que necesitaba, ¿no? Nos dieron ayuda, nos dieron todo.
In our unity, we have found strength. In our diversity, power, and in our compassion, healing. Together, we have helped stitch the fabric of humanity back together, one thread at a time, with dedication to service that knows no borders, no race, no creed. For we are the American Red Cross. We embolden and uplift our shared humanity because everyone deserves a tomorrow filled with hope.
Awesome. Okay. So we do have 5 lines of services, and with our diverse programs, we're here to educate and serve our local communities. Now, with our disaster services, we respond to emergencies every 8 minutes. We respond to small house fires, to multi-state natural disasters. So we go wherever we're needed so that people can have clean water, safe shelters, and hot meals when disasters strike. Next is our Service to Armed Forces Department. Our region has one of the largest service to armed forces footprints in the country. So we span from Dover Air Force Base in Delaware down to Quantico Clinic in Prince William County. We help members of the military, veterans, and their families prepare for, cope with, and respond to the challenges of military services such as deployments and emergencies. Our blood services department was actually first founded in the 1940s, actually, and we provide about 40% of the nation's blood and blood components, all from generous volunteer donors. Next is our training services, which was founded over 115 years ago. Preparedness training is at the core of what we do. So we offer certifications such as CPR, first aid, swimming, lifeguard training, and much more. And these programs do range from in-person to online training and in between. Lastly is our international services, in which volunteers are needed to become our instructors to teach international humanitarian law and help us reconnect with families reconnect with their loved ones and refugees separated by civil unrest, war, and conflicts. So why are you here today? Well, 90% of our workforce are volunteers, and we would love for you to join our team. The American Red Cross is a part of the world's largest volunteer network, founded in nearly 200 countries. Our volunteers do great things each and every day, and we can let the numbers speak for themselves. Our volunteers come from a variety of cultures and all walks of life. They embody our fundamental principles, and with the generous donation of time and talents by volunteers combined with the generous monetary donations of donors, an average of 90 cents of every dollar is invested in delivering care and comfort to those in need. So everything that we do is driven by the needs of the people that we serve. The Red Cross can't deliver its mission without volunteers. So we take our commitment to our volunteers very seriously. Some of the ways we invest in our volunteers are by providing free training, both for your chosen role and just for your overall well-being. We believe in supporting our volunteers by providing experiences and opportunities to enhance your life and or build on your resume. So volunteering, if you didn't know, does reduce stress levels. It also gives a sense of purpose and teaches valuable skills. Red Cross volunteers are people who are just like you, who have raised their hand and invested their time to get trained and be ready to respond when needed. Volunteering helps people stay physically and mentally active, and it also helps you to meet new people and create new relationships within your local community. The services that we provide to our community offer you an opportunity to give back and to help others using the skills and knowledge that you gain from us. Next, we will discuss our disaster department. Here is a video of Glenn's story of the loss that he experienced during Hurricane Ida and Hurricane Helene.
Hurricane Idalia came in, just destroyed everything in the house. Everything was wet. So I think it was about 2 feet of water, tore up the yard. It's something that just changes your whole entire life. Your mind is just going crazy. Where are you going to live? What are you going to do? After I'd stayed at like 6 different places, 2 different hotels, I was even sleeping out back out here. Then all of a sudden, there's a ray of hope that comes, the Red Cross. I had this lady from the Red Cross, kept trying to get in touch with me. And she said, go to the Holiday Inn, just tell them that you're from the Red Cross. So then I went to the Holiday Inn. I remember that night. I started high-fiving the girl at the front desk. To be able to have a place to stay, that's another thing you don't have to worry about. And then to have food, it's just, they're there for you. This last one, Hurricane Helene, they've been taking care of me. They moved me a couple different hotels. They bring me food. I had no idea they would take care of me this long. No idea. And just the way they treat you, I mean, they care about you like your family. They're there to help you. And if the Red Cross did not come to me and help me, who knows where I would have been? It's really powerful.
So, when large scale disasters such as hurricanes, wildfires, and community wide flooding occur, the Red Cross steps up and works collaboratively with other nonprofit and government agencies as a part of the disaster relief operation, focusing on meeting people's most urgent disaster caused needs. This may include providing affected residents with safe lodging, nourishing meals, clean drinking water, comfort, and care. This may include going out in the affected areas with supplies such as mops, bleach, buckets, or rakes to help the start of the cleanup recovery process. So let's talk about one of the important opportunities during disaster relief, which is deployment opportunities. This role for those who are able and interested in deploying outside of our region and to other parts of the country that may need support. The path of a given disaster will determine where Red Cross precise volunteers' needs lie. And accepting this position means that you have an interest and availability to travel outside of our region to help with major disasters. You have 14 consecutive days to do so. You are comfortable volunteering in person. And sometimes masks may be required in certain circumstances. You do understand, depending on the disaster, that hardships may apply, such as sleeping in a staff shelter or no electricity. And the last is that we do have training for this position, and that training should be completed within 2 weeks of deploying. Again, the responsibilities would be working in person at a Red Cross mass care shelter, and that will be before, during, and after a disaster, and helping with the support of the day-to-day activities, which include reception, registration, feeding, dormitory, and all that. As you can see here, with the deployment opportunity, it's not open now as we have shut down our deployment opportunities since hurricane season is over with. But typically, these positions do open up sometimes around April or May, because we kind of get ready. Well, not kind of, but we do get ready for the hurricane season early since hurricane season starts in June. So these positions do open back up on a yearly basis right before hurricane season starts. So every day, people are forced from their homes due to fires, storms, and other disasters. Single and multi-family fires account for 90% of disaster responses. You can be a part of a team that responds to over 60,000 emergencies every year, from offering a caring and compassionate ear to meeting the disaster call needs of individuals and households, such as lodging and clothing, and connecting them with long-term recovery services. Our volunteers ensure that families don't have to face tough times alone. So here's a short video of our disaster responder volunteers sharing why they volunteer with the American Red Cross.
Fires happen, and so disaster responders come to assist those family members with the essentials of food, clothing, and shelter.
That first hour right after that, where you can give them a little bit of hope, was something that I thought Red Cross was going to be really good at providing for them.
I just wanted to help the community, help others in need. That's my passion.
I really enjoy it. I like being there on the response and being there and being that compassionate, empathetic person to be able to help these people through probably one of the most horrible experiences of their lives.
So I just arrived in the USA a few months ago, and I wanted to be involved in the community.
Resources to help people who otherwise would not have anything to find as a new start for their life.
We're there to listen. We're there to be there to support them, to encourage them, to cry with them.
At a point where they don't know what they're going to do next, and you give them some hope. Say, you can recover, you can move forward, we've got something to do, we're not going to be out on the streets sleeping in our car tonight. And that's what we do, we get them going.
So in our disaster department, we are looking for disaster responders, and disaster responders are volunteers who respond to local fires in their local communities. So if you are action oriented and eager to make a difference in your community, consider joining the disaster action team as a local responder. Home fires and other disasters can strike at any time, any place. And as a disaster action team volunteer, you will respond to disaster scenes and to provide emotional support, financial assistance, and essential information to help families start their recovery process. Now, this is an in-person position, and we would provide all the training that is necessary. We ask for a commitment of at least 24 hours a month, and that can be in 6-hour shifts. So you can do 4 shifts, and that's 6 hours per shift. As long as your hours add up to 24 hours a month, then you should be good to go. And we are pretty flexible. So depending on when you have availability, you can sign up for that shift. And again, fires can happen at any time. So this is like 24/7 opportunity, and you can just shut up for 1 shift a week. That can be 6 hours that week, and for each week going forward until you actually get to 24 hours. The requirement for this position too, I wanted to mention, is that it's 18 years of age or older. So you do have to be 18. So next is our sound the alarm team member position. If you didn't know, each year we respond to an average of more than 6,000 disasters, the vast majority of which are home fires, as we mentioned. Our Sound the Alarm team member volunteers save lives by installing smoke alarms and educating residents about home fire risks by providing home safety checklists and plans in vulnerable neighborhoods. The purpose of this position is to implement our home fire campaign programming. So with this particular position, you're only required to do 1 shift a month, and that's typically on a Saturday or Sunday. And the hours are between 5 to 6 hours long, and you work with a group of volunteers. This will also be with the disaster program manager and our fire department. And we'll go into those vulnerable communities. We knock on people's doors, see if they have working smoke alarms. And if they don't, we install those for free. And in the end of the day, we are saving lives one home at a time. So for this particular position, you do have to be 16 years of age or older. Right now, this position is only open for DC and Southern Maryland. Right now, it's not open in Northern Virginia, but our positions open and close all the time. So periodically, you can always check our website. And if it is open, then you're definitely able to apply. So next is our Service to Armed Forces Department. And here is Hillary sharing her story regarding her experience as a volunteer.
I served in the military for a total of 24 years. Working in the military, I see young soldiers coming back after the war. If we can give back and help support them, uplift them, that's important. I volunteer for the service of the armed force. We provide service for veterans and active military members. We do education. We give information of how to take care of yourself and what to look out for. I make them aware, or let them know that, hey, I'm a veteran. I know where you're coming from and what you've been through. So they feel, this person will look out for me. It's important to support veterans because they sacrifice so much for us, for the country as a whole. I feel that I contribute to taking care of those that are in greatest need. I belong. I'm part of a community. I'm serving a purpose that be remembered long after I'm gone.
Every day, the American Red Cross provides 24/7 global emergency communication services and other support in military and veteran healthcare facilities across the country and around the world. So we provide services on all military installations in the U.S. and on 35 overseas installations. Each year, the American Red Cross provides more than 540,000 services to the service members, veterans, and their families by leveraging our worldwide network of volunteers. So the Red Cross not only helps members of the military and veterans, but also their families to prepare for, cope with, and respond to the challenges of military services by providing home comforts and critical services on bases and in military hospitals around the world. We also supporting military families during deployments and emergencies, and continuing to serve our nation's veterans after their services end. So here are some of the roles we have available in our region in our Service to Armed Forces Department. We are looking for medical treatment facilities, clinic coordinators. They act as liaisons between the clinic and the Red Cross. They also build a sustainable volunteer team of both licensed and unlicensed volunteers and serve as a leader for the volunteers and other military partners. Clinic coordinators are especially needed at our Fort Dover, Belvoir, Meade, and Patuxent River locations. Our medical treatment facility clinic volunteers, these volunteers assist with tasks in a clinical setting. They support staff in a variety of direct and indirect patient care activities, as well as enhance the morale of patients. Duties vary based on the location, and this can include doing administrative tasks such as answering phones, filing, computer and data entry, and providing comfort items. Lastly is our caseworkers. This is a virtual volunteer position, and these volunteers ensure military families' needs are met when faced with an emergency or deployment. They also support the follow-up process to include providing casework by making initial phone calls and seeing what the family's needs are, and making follow-up calls to military members and their families to determine if their needs are met, and providing other follow-up actions needed for complete and timely client services. And we continue to provide casework until they no longer need our services. So next is our biomed department that oversee our blood donations. So let's watch a video of our transportation specialist share their experience as a volunteer.
You know you're helping somebody when you're bringing them blood. It's a life-saving thing.
It just feels good as an experience to know that you're giving back.
I don't ask for anything in return. That's what I get. That's my payment. My position as a transportation specialist is
basically the same as a delivery driver. You go to a location, you pick up a package, you take it to a hospital, you come back and bring it empty if you have it back to your location. I like the fact that I'm volunteering. I can choose the days, the times that I usually can do that, and you get my convenience.
They have scheduled routes. They have standby duty.
It's a real flexible job, and they work with you on your schedule, on your timetable.
I sign up for a day and I have a day.
It's not that hard of a job, and I'm glad to be a part of a life-saving process.
And that's what warms my heart, is I get to help deliver the blood to the hospital that saves people's lives.
As a blood services transportation specialist, you will be a hero by delivering life-saving blood donations to local hospitals, directly helping patients in need. Using our user-friendly mobile app, you can easily choose times that work for you, both scheduled and on demand, and make deliveries ensuring that blood, platelets, and other critical supplies get to the hospital swiftly. You will be a vital part of our regional biomedical services team, making a tangible impact each and every day. So each trip you make saves lives. Right now, this position is only open in Northern Virginia, so that's the Woodbridge, Manassas area. We do have flexible hours for this position. The minimum commitment is 2 shifts per month, and that's any day of the week, and each shift being 5 to 6 hours, depending on your starting location. So I hope the information I shared today has been helpful in learning more about the mission of the American Red Cross and the various volunteer roles we have available. If you are interested in applying, you can visit redcross.org/volunteer. Once you're there, you can scroll down to find the option to explore available roles by clicking the Find My Volunteer opportunity. Then it will ask you to enter your zip code. And from there, you'll see a list of all the opportunities that's available in your area. And once you see the opportunity that's a best fit for you, you can hit the Apply Now button and it will take you through the application process. So getting started is pretty easy. Our volunteer application is online. It does take about 7 to 10 minutes to complete. What you'll want to do first is go to redcross.org/volunteer. You want to look through the opportunities that we have available and find the opportunity that best fits you, your skills, and your availability. From there, you'll create a Red Cross ID. You will also read and agree to Red Cross policies. And you'll also upload, well, not upload, you don't have to upload a photo ID anymore. We don't require that, but you will have to initiate a background check. And once you go through that process, there will be a screening form that pops up. We do encourage all volunteers who are looking to volunteer with us to make sure that you fill out that screening form to the best of your ability. This is just a way for us to make sure that you have the skills, the availability for whatever position that you are interested in applying for. So this concludes my presentation today of just highlighting all the opportunities we have available. Again, all my contact information is at the bottom. It's my email, the website, and also my telephone number. So feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions regarding anything I mentioned today or any opportunity that you may see on the website. Again, all of our counties are on the right-hand side of the screen. I really appreciate you having me here today and just sharing what we do in our local community. So that is it for me. And thank you so much, Courtney. I'll turn it over to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving us that great overview. Again, I know a lot of people are looking to see what they can do, especially after seeing the Red Cross so active across the country. There's so many opportunities, whether it's here locally, helping your community. Like you said, house fires happen all of the time. So our Red Cross partners are out there on a daily basis. So this is just another way that you can give back to your community. So thank you so much for giving us that great overview. And again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out, and we hope that you get out there and volunteer. So thanks for joining us for our last webinar of 2024. After this, we are going to start our next webinar series for 2025. And then we will announce our theme and we'll be able to continue the series throughout next year. So happy holidays, and we'll see you in 2025.